Oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Okay. Call the meeting to order. Do we do a roll call? Do we need to do a roll call first, though, or not? Or can we just proceed? Can we proceed with reports without roll?
Why wouldn't you have roll?
Well, if you don't have a quorum, then how do we? Okay, let's go with roll.
Patrick Kennedy, Larry Carr, Phil Cerna,
Here.
Jeff Slowey, Stephanie Wynn,
Here.
Jay Chenier, Darren Soon,
Here.
Sue Frost,
Here.
Susan Peters, Angelique Ashby,
Here.
Don Natoli, Garrett Gatewood, Alan Warren, Sean Farmer, Eric Guerra.
Here.
All right. Thank you. Can we go ahead and, I see April Jarvis in the audience. Would you mind leading us in the pledge, please?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair Soon, I need to read the meeting statement.
Yeah, thank you. I did that out of order. Sorry about that.
That's okay. This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is being videotaped in its entirety and will be cablecast without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the Government Affairs channel, and the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems, and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting is being shown live and will be repeated at 4 p.m. on Saturday, May 25th and 2 p.m. on Sunday, May 26th on Channel 14. This meeting is closed captioned. A DVD copy will be available for checkout from any library branch no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. A public copy of the full agenda, including reports, is available for viewing at the back table and is available on the library website at saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. In consideration of others, please silence your cell phone at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to, Chair's prerogative, I'm going to move the closed session item to the end, and then we may have a quorum issue, so I want to move our action items up to after our presentations.
Chair Soon, I think we have a quorum now.
Oh, great, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Carr. We have a quorum. I'm going to look to if there's any comments for matters not on the agenda. I don't have any speaker cards in front of me. Moving on to presentations 3.1.
3.1, Sacramento Public Library Foundation.
Good afternoon, everybody. This doesn't seem to be on. Does this one?
We'll fix that. Give it another try.
Okay, we ready now? Yep. Good afternoon. For the record, I am Jim Dieringer, President of the Board of Directors of the Library Foundation, and this is the Executive Director, April Javist. We're here today to present to the Sacramento Public Library Authority this fiscal year's contributions, which total $221,441. Because our focus is on children's literacy, we'd like to draw the authority's attention to donations that are being made for the purpose of increasing the reading skills and reading enjoyment of our youngest library users. Those include $100,000 for the library's summer reading program for 2019, $18,692 for a yet-to-be-named project at Colonial Heights, and $7,500 for Rancho Cordova's Maker Lab. The remaining $95,249 is primarily from our annual endowment distributions. Below, in the, I think you've received copies of this letter, and at the end, you'll find a more detailed listing of the contributions by designation. Forthcoming will be letters confirming these contributions and the recognition and reporting guidelines for these gifts. Because the foundation is deeply invested in continuing to grow summer reading, we created the community literacy map, which can help the library target non-participating schools and therefore help engage even more children in summer reading. No single program in Sacramento County touches as many kids as summer reading at the library, and understanding the impact of summer reading at the school level will be critical to the future fundraising efforts. In addition to raising immediate support for the library, we're building an endowment to secure the participation of 30,000 kids annually in summer reading at the library for all time. We have raised, including pledges, nearly $1 million for this endowment so far. We're seeking a total of $1.5 million in the silent portion of the campaign and another $500,000 when the campaign goes public. Just incidentally, this is the 35th anniversary of the foundation, formed in 1984, and over that time, we've given a total of over $11 million to the library. We are grateful to the entire library staff for their hard work and dedication to making the Sacramento Public Library the best it can be. We feel strongly that our library system should be at the center of Sacramento's literacy solutions, and we remain committed to advancing literacy through the resources that the library offers. So thank you very much. If there are any questions, we're here to address them.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions for Jim or April? Yes.
I just wanted to thank the foundation and Rivka and April for sitting down with our good team at Colonial Heights Library and Hacker Lab to look at coding at that community right off Stockton Boulevard. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to bring literacy and coding all in once. So thank you for that effort.
All right.
Thank you, Director Gary. Director Gatewood.
I just want to say thank you for coming to Rancho. We really appreciate all the funding, and we hope that we can help you raise some more money to get back to the libraries.
Good, I hope so. Thank you.
Grateful for all the work the foundation does. Thank you both.
Right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Happy anniversary. Thanks. Oh, thank you, Linda. Oh, okay. I just received a speaker card. Mr. Frederick Gale.
Frederick Gale, 7336 Hurlong Way, North Highlands. I'd like to thank the foundation for their great effort, and I hope that I live in North Highlands, and I hope that area is covered, and especially for the summer program, reading program, because if you can't read, you don't expect to go very far. You won't go very far. You can see a classic one is Sac City, not all by themselves, low performing kids, but if you can read, you can grasp things, you become a better person. I can remember from my area, poor South, we had rolling libraries. Then there were a few Carnegie libraries, but it was most important, made a tremendous impact on a lot of people. And I hope you don't forget the North area. I look at Fresh Fire, and we're talking about death rate for Afro-Americans. I think it's just a problem as much as reading and not performing. Sac City is a classic one. Thank you very much. And thanks for your...
Thank you, Mr. Gale.
You bet.
Before we move on to 3.2, I want to correct a statement I made earlier. I'd like to move the consent and the action items up after presentations. Thank you. Item 3.2, Friends of the Sacramento Public Library. Hello.
Hi. I'm Anita Scurry. I'm the president of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library. And I wanted to share with you, and Mr. Guerra, sorry, David Wagner couldn't be here today. I think he's off to New Mexico, but he says hello. We had a very successful big day of giving. We came in third on the leaderboard out of about 600 nonprofits in terms of number of donors. We had over 500. And we came in 26th in terms of money. We've raised approximately $55,000. That means approximately 17,000 underserved first graders will get a book this year, which means we will have distributed in the last 3 years about 47,000 books by the time we finish the distributions this year. So we think that, I don't know how many library cards, I bet Christy could tell me. about $1,000 a year. So we're getting entree to the library with the library's program and our funding of it. We're continuing to work on Friends Investing in Sacramento Public Library, and it's coming apace. Are there any questions?
Are there any questions for Anita? None. Well, I want to thank you as well, Anita. Appreciate all the work that you do on behalf of the library. Both of you together, we couldn't do our programs and everything without your support. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay. Item 3.3, cost allocation plan, fiscal year 19 and 20.
Thank you. In the interests of time, we are not doing a presentation. We think you're all sufficiently educated about what the cost allocation plan means, but we're happy to spend the next 30 minutes explaining it to anyone who would like us to do that. Otherwise, the report is in your packets, and there isn't much news. If Johnny wants to add anything, we pretty much are on target with where we've been in the last few years. Usually it comes down to 58% of our budget comes from the county, 42% of our budget comes from the city of Sacramento, and we're right in line with that as well on page 18 of your packets. You can see that. What else can I tell you? Sorry, I'm learning how to be electronic, and it's new to
I
me.
had my own challenge. I resorted back to paper.
So the PowerPoint is actually very helpful because it gives you the idea of what the shared services are, and what we allocate. So we're actually at 59% this year, and that would be 41% for the city. That's on page 8 of your packet. And then on page, in the more detailed packet, it
Okay.
lays it out.
Okay, well, let me just go to questions. I see a couple of directors wanting to speak.
Okay, sure.
Director Garrett?
Mr. Chair, if this requires a motion, I'll like to move the item.
This is a receive and file.
Yeah, it's information only.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to then thank the staff for their good work.
All right.
Johnny
thank you.
is a champ. If I may just thank him publicly. Nicole Kissam, who is our consultant for the cost allocation study, was here. She's desperately working on a project in Tahoe and said, if it's okay, I'll leave. And, she said, Johnny's got it down, and I think that's very true.
Okay.
And I have learned a tremendous amount in the last couple of years under his guidance. And
Thank you,
it all
Johnny.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Rivka.
Thank you.
Director Ashby?
Thank you. I did just have one question, Director Sass, on the cost allocations, and I am borrowing Sue's agenda, so thank you. I can't, for whatever reason, get mine to open on my iPad right now. But on the shared cost item of the downtown facility, can you talk about that just for a little bit?
Okay, so when the JPA language was, I don't want to give you too much history, but I want to give you enough to create context. So when the JPA was rewritten, if you will, or in 2007, in 2008, the library began doing a central distribution, which is separate from the cost allocation plan because it relates to space only and not staff, and so it's a little bit unique. So we had an internal disagreement, and the former deputy director won, and then we went to legal advice, we went to the cost allocation, our consultants, and they said, yeah, it's fair, because the central library, and I forget the number of square feet that are used for shared services, it's absolutely a fair thing to do that central distribution.
Right, to have everybody. So under this budget that you're bringing for this allocation process that you're bringing forward now, are we up to where the county and the individual cities in Sacramento are all paying their share now?
Well, if the board, and a later item is our Finance Advisory Committee fund balance report and policy recommendation. We have been meeting, as you know, for about the last year and a half with the different entities.
That's really my question is, I didn't understand. We were taking this item before that item, and
And this is just an information item that we bring to the board every May to say, this is what the plan.
Okay.
This is how we're planning to do it.
Okay.
And it's your chance to say, we don't like it, go back and
But your
come back.
budget committee is going to make a recommendation to us today on that allocation.
Both the budget, the proposed budget, but first we need to hear the Finance Advisory Committee item and have
Okay.
you vote on that. And in that item, we're asking to restore the central library distribution for
And
the
if we
years that we
cha-
did not do it.
Right,
Yeah.
and if we take that action, it's going to change this, though, for next time.
No,
You don't think so?
No.
This allocation?
no.
Okay.
Johnny, turn your mic on. No, yeah, sorry.
No, it's not going to change this allocation. The central distribution, it's a supplement to the cost allocation plan.
Okay,
So the 59% and 41%, that's going to remain the way it is.
okay. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no other comments, we receive and file. And then I'm going to move the consent, move to the consent calendar. Are there any, anybody? I have a motion from Director Guerra.
Second.
Second from Director Nguyen. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion passes. Go to action items, 8.1. Linda, if you wouldn't mind.
8.1, Finance Advisory Committee Report and Reserve Policy.
Thank you.
Oh, do you want to take it or do you want me to? Sorry.
While Johnny's coming up, I just want to take a moment to thank all the jurisdictions and who allocated resources to this finance committee.
You know, it was, if I may speak, it was a truly wonderful process, and I think we all learned a lot and clarified a lot of information. It was well worth the time spent.
Go ahead, John.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. So 8.1, we so this item is it's known as the Finance Advisory Committee recommendation. As you recall, we've been meeting with the Finance Advisory Committee over the last 6 months. We had 4 different, really productive meetings where we got input from all of the members that attended and had really good conversations. So the 4 main topic of discussions were cash flow, dry period financing, the fund balance reserve policy itself, the prior use central distribution, and the supplemental funding concept. So with dry period financing and cash flow, it was determined that the county's fund balance needed to have at least $10 to $12 million in reserve in order to sustain current operations. And also, if we were to utilize dry period financing, it would cost the library to the tune of approximately $700,000 in lost interest and loan fees. So since we have the fund balance already, the committee is not recommending that we use dry period financing. And then on the fund balance reserve policy itself, it was determined that based on the cash flow from the county via property taxes and the city general fund contribution and postal tax payments, it was determined that it's okay to have 2 different reserve levels. So the committee recommended 35% for the county, which is a combination of cash flow and economic uncertainty. And then on the city side, the committee is only recommending an economic uncertainty amount of 17% of reserves. And then the topic of prior year central distribution, as Director Sass have alluded to earlier, this is to recover 8 years worth of budgets that were not, or central distributions that were not budgeted and not executed for the fiscal year 2011 through 2018, so 8 years total. And it was determined that by real estate, city real estate, that the rent fees are all inclusive, meaning that utilities, maintenance, landscape services, and so forth would be included in the rental portion of the rate. So in total, over an 8-year span, it was calculated at $4.2 million, and of that amount, $2.5 million is the county's portion. So it's the central distribution for 8 years that were not budgeted and executed. And then the postal taxes are $85,000 for Measure B and $677,000 for Measure X, respectively. And then the concept of supplemental funding, this one we really kind of batted back and forth. The way we budget, the way we allocate supplemental funding now based on the JPA is that we would do it at the budget level. And typically, when we budget, as you all know, when we budget, it's usually on the high side, but by the time we close the books, there'll be some savings along the way. So the committee is recommending that we wait until the fiscal year end had closed, we wrap up the audit, and then we're looking at actual numbers to determine the supplemental funding amounts. And also any system-wide equipment needs and improvement that might be needed for the county branches. So instead of allocating supplemental funding at the budget level, we're recommending to wait until the audit is fully completed. We look at actual numbers, and then the committee would reconvene and determine an amount that's appropriate for the supplemental funding. So again, I'd like to thank the committee members from all the city agencies and the county rep as well too for giving us really good feedback and also asking us to do a lot of work to come up with a positive solution. So with that, we'll take any questions.
Okay, thank you, Johnny. I see Director Frost. Go ahead, Vice Chair Frost.
Johnny, I just want to thank you and Rivka and all the staff for working so hard on this. And we had this conversation. I was new to the budget committee. This was my first year on the budget committee, and so I think I had a lot of questions. Sorry about that, everyone. But I really feel comfortable with the reserve policy. I remember when we were first talking about it months ago, I was blown away at the idea of 35 or 45% reserves. And what I learned is that the library really, the way they receive their money from the county is different from the way they receive it from the city. The city, they get it monthly, and from the county, they get it at tax time. And so probably people that have served on the library board over time knew this, but it didn't register with me. So it's logical for the county to need more reserves on the county side to carry through the low times. And I get that you don't want to pay interest with dry period funding. So I'm good with that. And I also was excited at the idea that there might be someday, I mean, I don't know, but there might be some supplemental funding coming to the different jurisdictions. So it's good to know that you're managing it so well. And so I just wanted to thank you and say that I support it and appreciate all that you've done to work through all these numbers. Thanks, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair Frost. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Johnny. I'm opening it for public comment. I don't have any speaker cards, so I'm going to close public comment and move back to the board for direction. Entertain a motion.
Move the item.
Moved by Director Guerra, seconded by Director Carr. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item, please, Linda.
8.2, proposed budget, position control, and fines and fees for fiscal year 2019-2020.
up here with you, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Well, we're very pleased to present our proposed fiscal year 1920 budget to the board. I think it's pretty clean in terms of what we're doing. We're maintaining the level of services that we've been striving toward. It's the number one thing our customers always ask for in community meetings. Well, they ask for two things: more hours and more books. And we're fulfilling that promise in this particular budget with what we've proposed. And I'm going to turn it over to Johnny, and I'll chime in.
Thank you, Rivka. So in the interest of time, I guess we'll go through these pretty quick. As you know, the three main funding sources for the library is our property tax payments, City of Sacramento contributions via general fund contributions, and 2 parcel tax payments. The proposed budget is it's a balanced budget with use of $2.5 million from fund balance. Revenues we're projecting to be at about $48 million. Expenditures at $50.5 million. And the $2.5 million reserve usage is mainly for the expanded hours. We've had great results over the last year on the 7-day and 6-day concept. So we are recommending to continue with that. And then also, there were several CIPs that we carried over from last year's budget in light of staff working on the Sylvan Oaks branch project, Galt, and the Rancho Cordova project. So this is a simple snapshot of what the revenues look like. So 55% from property taxes, city general fund, 22%. Parcel taxes at about 17%. Expenditure-wise, 62% is for salaries and benefits, and supplies and maintenance at about 24%. So year-over-year comparison, the revenue changes include we're projecting $1.5 million in increase in county property tax payments, so that's about 6%. And City of Sacramento General Fund contribution, this is built into the budget forecast, so at about $750,000. And parcel tax increases are based on the San Francisco CPI index, so we're estimating about a 3% increase. And then other revenues, you see a negative $324,000, and that's mainly for grants and donations. We do not budget grants and donations during the May budget due to the uncertainties. But by the time we get to September and mid-year, we'll have donations being received along the way. So when we bring those budget back to you, we'll include the grants and donation amounts.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Director Ashman.
I think this is, we're covering so many budget items. I'm trying to figure out, can you go back to that screen you were just on? So, Director Sass, can you explain, this is where I was talking about the central distribution in the negative there. Does this proposed budget currently address each entity paying their portion of the central distribution?
Yes. And the reason, I believe this is what Johnny was alluding to earlier. We had estimated I think we had estimated $3.2 million, and then we corrected that because it turned out that the rents being quoted to us, the research was all inclusive,
Right,
so
that
it
they were
included
inclusive.
utilities and things. So I think that's a downward adjustment.
So, on the portion of the budget where the central part of the library is used for everybody's purposes, I remember, I haven't been on the budget in a while, but when we were passing Measure B, and this predates almost everybody up here except for maybe Phil and I, and Jimmy Yee was talking about the county's contribution to the central library's sort of central services component. And I just want to know if the county is paying that now.
That's part of what the Finance Advisory Committee just
Right, in that item, but how is
passed.
it reflected in our budget?
It's reflected in the budget. We'll get there. I think we're not quite
Oh,
there
has
yet.
that correction been made?
We're asking that it be
Okay.
made. Yeah.
All right, so when we get there, or however we get there, I just want to better understand that.
Sure.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So Exhibit 1A, or A1, this is our three-year flow of the fund balances. So in the first column, you're looking at fiscal year 2018, so that's the audited number for the prior year. And so the current year, we're estimating to end the year for 2019 at approximately $34 million. And in fiscal year 2019-20, we're estimating to end the year at about $32 million. And if you take a look at the second to the last column, where it says cash flow / economic uncertainty, so these amounts are reflective of the 35% and the 17% that we talked about earlier. So the county's cash flow / economic uncertainty amount is $10 million, and the city of Sacramento general fund is at $2,001,200 for Measure X and approximately $362,000 for Measure B at 17%. So these are the new reserve amounts based on the adopted 8.1 item. So Exhibit A2, this is just a summary of our revenue sources and expenditures that we budgeted at $50.5 million. Again, using approximately $2.5 million in fund balance. Now, Exhibit 8.8-3. So this is a kind of high-level summary of our revenue sources. And to answer Director Ashby's question earlier, if you take a look at City of Sacramento Fund, where it says send distribution X for in, so $491,000, this is the amount that's being transferred in from the County of Sacramento and the two parcel taxes, Measure X and Measure B for the central distribution. So going forward, this is what we'll be doing, at the budget level. So that, did that answer your
John,
question?
just before you move on, I mean, I think Director Ashby had a good point on that question, central distribution. Maybe there's another, you might have come up with another name for it in the future, so it's more intuitive for folks, if I understood the earlier question correctly.
I think I have trouble finding where the item is on here because central library, central distribution, central billing, central everything. But my point was really that I wanted to make sure that in this budget, because now we have Measure X and we have Measure B and the second round of Measure U, I want to make sure that the city is paying their share of the central services. And by central, I don't mean the central library. I mean the services that are central to the Sacramento County Public Library system, which is the nuanced confusion. But I also want to make sure the county is. And so does this budget reflect that Elk Grove and everybody is paying their contribution? Because in the past, at one point the city wasn't, and we corrected that. And then at another point the county wasn't, and I want to make sure that we're correcting that.
And really, that's what I think, talking about the Finance Advisory Committee, that's what a lot of that work was about. It was really to show everybody so that we could all get on the same page. We were working with staff from each of the entities. And I can answer very comfortably knowing this much about everything because Johnny's the expert, right? He's an accounting major. I'm a political science major. I always say that. But I can answer that it absolutely is. That was what a lot of this work was about, was for us, was almost like forensic accounting, to kind of go back and really look at everything and then move forward and say, absolutely. And that's really what the cost allocation study does with the central.
That's great. I don't need to, you don't have to go into it too much. I just want to make sure, at one point.
Short answer, yes.
And at one point it was us, so I'm also not pointing fingers. When I first came out, it was the city, wasn't paying their
Right.
share of that piece. I just want to make sure we have it right now. Okay.
It's good.
Exhibit A4, so these are the...
Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going to, or Vice Chair
Oh,
Frost.
sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify, because this number went up slightly after the finance advisory and the all the forensic accounting that you guys did. Is that correct?
No, actually, it went down slightly. So
Oh,
if
it
you
went
look,
down slightly.
Yeah, if you look at the Exhibit A3 again, where it says amended fiscal year 18-19 budget, it was at $556,000. And so after we corrected the rental rate using the all-inclusive rent rate, it went down to $491,000 for fiscal year 20. So it went down by $65,000.
So
That was on the previous slide.
are we going to, is this number, I'm assuming this number will fluctuate every year. Will it be evaluated annually, or is this just the flat figure that goes in the budget every year?
Are you talking about the central distribution?
Yeah.
I think we'll look at it. I don't know. I think that's one of the reasons the Finance Advisory Committee is going to continue meeting. There are still some things to be worked out, including that definition of base services that we all, we realize we'll talk about that next time. But I think the procedure that we will use for determining that central distribution is also an item of discussion, and we'll probably do it, my guess is we won't do it every year, but we'll probably do it biannually, because it makes sense.
Biannually or?
Every other
year?
Yeah.
And
biannually, yeah.
well, the JPA agreement allows for us to determine what is those base services, and so what you're saying is those will be part of the central distribution or added to it?
They're not part of the. I'm saying there are a number of items that the Finance Advisory Committee, I believe, still needs to discuss as a group, which is why we agreed we'll probably meet a couple of times a year, because we want to make sure that everything is the way it should be. And the base services definition were created in 2000, those definitions were created in 2007, and a lot has changed since 2007.
So that might change as you continue your conversations.
Right.
Got it.
So that might change, but the central distribution, I think the formula, I think we're good for now, but I think we do need to look at it. But I'm going to issue a caveat, and that is, if we look at it too often, the downside for the county, honestly, is that rents are going up in downtown Sacramento. And for us to find an alternative space anywhere that meets all of those needs, that's really what the central distribution is about. A garage, office space, a workspace for bringing in all the books, our logistics, all of that. So we want to do the right thing, but I think we also want to be fair to everybody. And I really think doing it every other year is really adequate.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Johnny. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're on Exhibit A4. So these are the overall expenditures. So again, on the topic of central distribution, the county's portion is $366,500 for fiscal year 20. So it dropped down by approximately $58,000. And let's say Sacramento household taxes, X is $93,500, and Measure B at $31,000. So going forward, it'll be included in the budget as part of the overall budget process. On Exhibit A5, this is our book budget. you see a decrease of 170,000 from the prior year, and it's actually an increase from the normal prior year, but prior year we had a one-time E-rate fund in the tune of $350,000 in book contributions, and I think there's also another small increase. So at $6 million, this is actually an increase from the prior year normal book budget. So Rivka, you want to talk about this?
Sure. So the next two slides really reflect what we've done in terms of meeting that request to add hours. And this, we were able to do this last September for the branches. So we have 7 branches open 7 days a week. We have a total of 10 branches now open Monday through Saturday, so that we can provide better access, by being open more hours. So really, that one, and then the next slide represents what we would like to do in the city. And this is where there's still an inequity between the county and the city, because I want to point out the Bell Coolidge Library in the city of Sacramento, even by adding 3 hours a week, it's still our second busiest library. And to compare, if you look at the statistics from this month, it's on a par for circulation and activity with the Fair Oaks Library, which is open 7 days a week, and it's open, and Bell Coolidge is only open 5. So that's where there will always be a little bit of inequity between the city and the county, just because of the difference in the two budgets.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
So just moving on to capital projects. We're budgeting $600,000 for 2 AMHS machines.
Automated materials handling, automated book machines.
At Carmichael and Valley High, and $345,000 for various projects at county branches, $100,000 for security upgrades, and $100,000 for the Galleria sound system. The MLK Martin Luther King Library is still, branch refresh is still postponed due to the city's declining fund balances.
Okay, I have a question from Supervisor Natoli.
If you could go back to that just for a second on the slide. The $600,000 for automatic handling machines, is that a pretty standard price, or are those custom made for the various branches in which they're located?
It's actually a pretty smoking hot deal, because we have Jared on our side, and he negotiates really, really well with the company that provides the automated material handling systems for us. And they really like us because we're willing to beta test new things for them. So it's a great relationship. And this is actually, it might come in a little less even. Yeah, we're pretty sure. But we always...
What's the life cycle for the machinery? I mean, maybe different vintage and so forth, but...
Well, I was going to say, because Elk Groves has been in almost since I got here. So, yeah, we're coming up on 10 years.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
All right. Director Carr, before we move on, I just want to say we're going to lose quorum at 4, so I want to make sure we try to get through this item, and we've got actually 2 more. Thanks.
Okay.
Director Carr.
Yes, thank you. Rivka, help me understand what's going on with the MLK refresh. I recall at a previous meeting, we approved the allocation for it, and it wasn't $3 million, as I recall.
It turns out that there are other issues with that building that we were unaware of. We thought a refresh would be in the neighborhood of, I think, $500,000 to $800,000, but there are some structural issues that will require much more money, and I think that's the estimate we got from city facilities. So we're going with that estimate, because to bring it up to the standard, to touch it means we have to fix everything. So we're kind of between a rock and a hard place, because we really would like...
The vote we took before was for, I think it was $1 million, is that right?
We started at about $500,000, we ended up at $1 million, and then we found out about these additional structural issues. Jared could speak to them if you want him to quickly come.
I don't need to know the structural issues.
We can talk about it offline.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, we'll explain it.
The
Okay.
$1 million that we approved before, is this an additional $3 million that's needed? So it's actually a $4 million?
Total, but that was not actually budgeted. The million wasn't budgeted.
Yeah, we've never budgeted $1 million in the past.
We just talked about
It
it.
was an unfunded capital need, but it wasn't budgeted.
Okay. Go ahead, Johnny.
Okay.
Please follow up with Director Carr.
We'll be
Okay.
really, I'm
Thank
sorry?
you. I just said, please follow up with Director Carr later
We
on.
will follow up with
Thank you.
Director Carr. And I just want to very quickly mention that, because of the tragic murder of our colleague, we've been looking at our security and how we deal with that. You just passed new rules of conduct for us. We're adding some positions. So we looked at our position control, cleaned out positions that we believe we don't need. We're adding a couple of positions. It's a net gain of 3 positions overall. That includes a safety and security manager, 2 library security officers, which will be coming back to you. We're putting them in the budget now, I think. We're putting them in position control, and thus budgeting for them. We won't actually recruit for the positions until probably later in the summer, because we have to work with Local 39 to make sure we're in agreement. And then the others, we're adding another bilingual librarian, because we won't talk about my director's report, but I urge you to read 975 people came to bilingual programs in the month of April for Dia de los Niños. We know we need another bilingual librarian.
Okay.
And then 2 youth services librarians for the city, because they are woefully understaffed, and they'll be shared among 4 branches.
All right.
And the other item that we're presenting to you is a revised fine and fee structure. It includes the elimination of some fines, including fines for children's and teen materials, the reshelving fee, which is now a nuisance fee, and it's not worth it. It's a very small amount of money. The Public Records Act fees, which we should have eliminated in a previous budget, as well as certain damaged materials fees that kind of are very 1970s. We're actually modernizing the fine and fee schedule. And then also aligning Galleria rental fees with more what the market is. We haven't increased those fees in quite some time, so we're recommending that as well.
Okay. You good, Director Guerra? Okay. All right, go ahead.
So last slide, future challenges. Again, the City of Sacramento, we're estimating about $6 million in unfunded capital needs, and of that amount, $3 million is for the Martin Luther King Library branch refresh. Other challenges includes inflation with rising costs in services and supplies, books and material, healthcare costs, and future capital projects. And then as you know, CalPERS have lowered the discount rate from 7.5% to 7%. So the next 4 years, we're anticipating about $1.4 million in increase in the employer portion of the CalPERS contribution. And of that amount, $826,000 is for the county fund, and approximately $574,000 for the City of Sacramento funding sources. So that's our budget for fiscal year 2019, and we're hoping that the board would adopt the budget.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Johnny or Rivka on the budget? Director Guerra.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and move the item. I want to thank the staff, even though there were 8:30 Friday morning meetings for the budget committee, but I'll go ahead and move the item.
I do need to, I will know, just for process, open it for public comment. I don't have any sign up to speak. Close public comment, and I'll entertain the motion from Director Guerra, second from Director Nguyen. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Thank you.
We thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 8.3, please. FY 19-20 unrepresented personnel resolution.
Oh, yes. Last year, when we brought the unrepresented resolution to you, we said we would clean it up and bring it to a future meeting. Time flies. So we revised it. It has been incorrect for more than a decade. I went back as far as I could find them. We removed all references to probationary periods for the non-exempt or the confidential non-exempt staff and managers. We in fact are not. We do not go through probation. We are at-will employees. So we cleaned that up. We recommend a 2.5 salary adjustment for the non-management staff, which is in line with the library unit, and made other minor changes.
Okay.
I'll move the item.
Okay, again, open to public comment. No one's time to speak. Close public comment. And Director Gare made a motion, seconded by Director Nguyen. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. And finally, 8.4. I know there's a correction you want to do there.
Okay.
Update to the Budget Audit Committee structure.
Yes. So when the Budget Audit Committee was appointed a couple of months ago, 7 people were appointed. And rather than change the makeup of the committee, staff is recommending that we have 2 alternates. That way then we maintain the quorum of 3, because sometimes it's difficult. You're all extremely busy people. And if we can get 3 of you either in the room or on the phone, we are happy. So this is a compromise. Our attorney may want to add to it, but that was what we came up with as a solution.
I think that's fine, unless anyone wants to hear from the attorney Jennifer? No? Okay. Any questions, or I'll entertain a motion?
Move the item.
Moved by Director Guerra, seconded by Director Nguyen. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Faster, Director Gatewood. Faster. Okay. Thank you. That does it for our hearing items. Appreciate it, Supervisor Cerna. We're going to go back to Director's Report, and Rivka, you're up. Director's Report.
Thank you. I will refer you to my written report. I wanted to call a couple of things out, including the fact, I mentioned the Dia de los Niños programming, which was just such a tremendous success, and we were quite thrilled. I also indicated that in September we will be bringing Rich Harwood in to have a community conversation. He's nationally known for being a healer, to talk about communities. He was in to talk about what communities want, not for libraries, but what kind of community do you want? And we're very excited to be able to do this, and I included the questions in the report for you, as well as, really quickly, Early Learning Nation. We're really thrilled to be working with the City of Sacramento on that. Donna Zick, our early learning specialist, is taking the lead. We're only one of 8 cities nationally to have received this grant. It's a great partnership with the City of Sacramento, and I know it will actually extend way beyond that as we move forward. I also want to mention that City Council approved the renaming or the naming of the teen space at the North Natomas Library for Amber Fawn Wooten Clark, and I want to thank Director Ashby for leading the charge on that. It was a very moving event, and we will be having a celebration later in the year. And also to mention that contrary to information the board has received about the Amber Clark Memorial Scholarship, that is not a library initiative. That is actually an initiative of her family. And any announcements that have come out from the family, not the library, although, of course, we support it. And that's all I'll say in the interest of time.
Okay. Thank you, Director. Any questions for Rivka? Seeing none, I'm going to move on to informational items. And I'll just take these as a whole. If anyone would like to see the 6.1 monthly financial report, 6.2 quarterly investment report, 6.3 monthly financial report for April 2019, 6.4 monthly treasurer's report, April 2019. There's receive and file. Any questions? Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and move on to item 9, any reports, ideas, and questions from the board members before we move to adjourn to our closed session. Director Carr.
Yeah, I just want the Rivka to know that the parts are almost here, and we will have the library lights by June.
Yay!
Hey.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. And seeing no further comments from the board members, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to adjourn to a closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 549557 for a meeting pertaining to personnel performance evaluation for the library director. Thank you.